Good day and welcome to Smart PDT. Today we're going to show you how to use the real-ptt application on your Android device or iPhone or whichever application that you basically got it installed. So first of all, you can see on the top toolbar it says area, which is South Africa because we're in South Africa, the country. The account is the account address that we give you guys to be able to log in, and then the password is the password on that actual account, so you can basically connect to the real-ptt application. And then what you can do is just click on login.
Logging. Control login successfully. Enter group Ford SACH1.
Once the cell phone application is basically logged in, you can basically see that the application has a blue icon over one of the group PDTs, which basically showing us which group that the application actually switches on and goes into when on default. So if we click on Ford SA channel 1, you'll see it's showing us 3 radios that are currently online, but the icons are appearing yellow. Now what those yellow icons are basically showing you that those 3 individual radios or cell phone applications, whatever it is, are currently in a different group other than what it's in, or that you're in at the moment, which is Ford SA channel 1. Now if we click the back button and we go into a different group, Ford IT,
enter group Forded.
You'll see it shows you exactly the same thing. It shows you France, Massy, and support, and they also got the yellow icon showing you that these 3 radios aren't in Ford IT group. So now if we press the back button and we click onto Ford Plant,
enter group Ford Plant,
you'll see that there's 3 icons there appearing now, but they're in blue. So that means that these 3 devices are currently in Ford Plant and not in the other channels. Now, if we press the back button and we go into Process Coach,
enter group Process
it will basically show you that there's 1 radio online in this group, but is basically not in it because it's yellow. Now, what happens is you'll see the other 2 members is basically disappeared. The reason being is that Massey is the only person that is allowed to be having communication in this in the Process Coach group, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the back button now, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Ford Plant.
Enter group Ford Plant.
And as you can see there, it's got France, Massy, and support. Now they basically, these 3 people are in this group. Now if you press the little tick box on the side there, let's actually select Massy.
Choose user Massey.
And we press the PDT button. It will take Massey out of the Ford Plant group, and it will make it that you can talk to him privately.
Private call successfully. Enter group control.
There we go. Now you're basically communicating to Massey in the Ford group, basically privately, without the other members basically hearing anything in that group. When you finish talking to Massey privately, all you have to do now is press the back button.
Exit private call successfully. Enter group Ford
Massey
Plant.
is back into the Ford Plant group. That's basically how you can select a private call within that group that you're currently in at the moment. When you see that Massey is now basically gone out of the group, you can physically go to the screen again and see
enter group Process Coach.
He went into, and he's in now Massey's group. So let's quickly just give him a call. Massey, coming for radio test.
Massey here. I can't hear you. What are you saying?
I'm just doing a radio test to let you know, so that we've added the group Process Coach, and we're also doing a video to show you how the actual radios function via the application. So if you guys can just give us about 5 or 10 minutes, we're just using your application to show you how the whole system works and doing a video for you guys.
That will also give us an indication on how you do group calling here, I think.
That is 100% correct, but we'll be in contact with you shortly. If you can just give us 5 minutes. Thank you very much for your time and effort, sir. Thank you.
Outside the hotel, you were so clear.
So that's basically it. So now you can basically see when a person's in a group or when he's basically out of group. Now you'll see that it's got these little headphones here on the
Monitor
side.
group. Forward SACH. Monitor group.
So what
Forwarded.
happens is it
Mon-
basically
cancel
you
monitor.
can monitor all
Forward.
the groups.
Cancel monitor. Forward. Monitor group. Forward plant.
You can basically monitor all the groups that you're currently not in. So for example, you'll see the blue line appearing over the process code showing you that you're in that group, but the headphones are showing you that you're still listening to the other groups. So if there's anybody talking in the other groups, you'll be able to hear them as well. But when you press the PDT button, it will only talk on that blue toolbar group that you're currently over. And that's basically how
Cancel
the monitoring
monitor. Cancel
basically
monitor.
works.
Cancel monitor.
Right.
Forwarded.
What we're going to have a look at is now the actual mapping part of the application. Now, if we click on the map at the bottom of the screen next to the PDT button, you'll see basically it shows you a map of the whole globe. Basically, if you zoom into South Africa, you'll see it's basically showing you where the device location is. Right. Now, if we say track and we click on track, it'll basically jump through and show you exactly where the radio's been for the day. If you can actually click on the date and the time, you can select the date and time that you want to actually see where the radio's been and what it's done and all the rest of it.
Support, or David, did you call me just now?
I did, Mercy. I'm just busy doing a video, and just give me about 5 minutes. I'll give you a ring back shortly. Great. So as you can see, when you press the...
So you are busy configuring, am I right?
That is 100% correct, yes, sir. So when you press...
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
There we go. So as you can see, when he presses the PDT, it automatically jumps to the person that's on the screen and shows you where he's actually communicating and PDTing from. So at the moment, he's PDTing from Ford Motor Company of Southern South Africa. So that's basically showing you where the radio is basically PDTing and which area from. But now, what's also nice is if you click the date on the top there with the green and the red icon on the top of the phone, you'll see it's got the dates and the times. You can basically set what time period you can do it in, and you can only do it in 24 hours. Basically, you can't go more than 24 hours. And if you click on the track, it'll basically show you where the guy's been, and if you press on the dots, it'll actually give you the longitude and the time he was at each location, basically. And that's how that operates. Then if you want to go search for a different user, you first have to go back into your group.
Enter group Ford SACH1.
Go into
Enter group Ford plant.
And then click map again, and then change the user to France and do exactly the same thing and press track, and then it will pull up all the data for what France did. So you can basically see what France did for the type of hours that you wanted him to search for. And then you can do it also for support. So if we click on support and we say track, and you can basically see where the radios have been for support as well. And that's basically how the radios can operate, and you can see where they've been walking with. The GPS tracking can only work if the GPS has signal from the satellite. As soon as it goes under concrete, the GPS tracking doesn't basically work. And that's how the major functions of the Twitter radios and how it operates, right? The SOS feature is if you press the SOS button, which is appearing on your screen here. Let's go back to the group at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. If you press it and you hold it in, it will send an SMS emergency through to the control room, and you'll be able to see the location of the actual device that is in distress. So that's basically what the SOS function does. Also remember that there are certain different functionalities of the application, which I'll be going through to you now. So if you click on menu and you go into PTT call, your audio source should always be normal. Your recording volume should be basically 10. Your enhanced loudness normally on that setting. And your coding must always be on 4K coding. So if we enable the 8K coding on the actual application, you'll see when the people communicate, it's going to be distorted, as you hear now. The reason being is that it's sending a different packet in a different encryption coding. So if we put AK on, it gives up with the encryption encoding noise as you hear there, and you're not going to be able to hear what's being said. Then all your device applications need to change to the 8K coding. But the problem about the 8K coding, the problem about
Enter
that
group
is
process coach.
that it uses more data to send the voice packets from one device to another device. So that means that instead of you utilizing 55 Rand of data per radio per month, you're going to be most probably using 80 Rand worth of data per radio per month. And that's basically the difference between the 8K coding. Great. The adaptive decoding that you also don't utilize. The save audio, you can save the audio every time someone communicates to someone on your application, it can store that audio file onto your phone, so you can basically replay it and basically hear what's been said. Duration of temporary group that you don't utilize. Great. Then the voice, if we click on voice, this basically just gives you different options that you can do on the voice settings. Volume control, there's normally set to maximum. Audible functions, that's basically every time you click on something, you can hear it clicking or making noise. Audible messages. Now, if you click on messages at the bottom screen, you can basically type up a message on your computer and send it through to the people, and then it will basically read it out to you. So that's what an audio message is. Your PGT start call alert, that's basically that your Roger tone that you hear in the beginning and at the end of it. Your PDT start sound, that you can change the different sound effects, and that's basically the functions of the voice. The display is your SOS button. You can either show the SOS button or you can make it disappear. Some guys use the SOS, some guys don't use the SOS. Right? The display, the PTT button, you can make the PTT button disappear, or you can make it appear. That's to communicate from one application to the radios, or from the radios to the application. You can also choose it to make it a bigger PDT button or a smaller PDT button, but it will only basically change the next time you restart the application. Display PDT on home screen, that's basically if you're out of the actual application, you'll see it's got the PDT button on the top there. And you can basically PDT with the PDT without it being in the actual software. So that's basically what the display.
Support, did you say something?
Display on home screen basically. So if we basically take that off, you can rather leave that off. Eliminate screen when calling. Eliminate screen, that's basically to turn the screen off, so you can't press the PDT button. It will basically switch it off. And then display member's name on map, you can switch that function on if you want to see where the person is and the name on the map. Display network speed, that you don't need. The map is always set to Google. And then your Bluetooth is for your Bluetooth accessory devices. Your storage, it shows you where it stores all the recordings and the mappings to on your device. And then also when you click on run on others, you can run it on the starter. You can also do it as power save. You can upload only satellite positioning, lost positioning, customize SOS button, customize PDT button, and that's basically it. That's what we've all covered. So that's basically how the application works, and that's it. And if you need any other queries, feel free to give us a ring after this. Have a great day. Cheers, bye.